Harvey sits in his favorite chair, staring out at the blanket of fresh snow across a plot of land he's tended for 70 years. In the morning light, sharp, scraggy winter trees stab upward in every direction like open hands waiting for the sky to fall. He scratches his eggy white head until a scab opens and bleeds. I dab away the blood and apply a band-aid as his wife, Cindy, says to him,
"Stop doing that! You're only making it worse!"
then shifts uncomfortably in her seat, puttering around, as it seems all old ladies do. I hand him his mail to occupy him while I cook him breakfast. 2 eggs a day and coffee, sometimes something sweet even though he has diabetes. But she's okay with that. He doesn't have much else. It's junk mail in his hand, but he doesn't realize it. The real mail, bills and such, are left with his cognitively able wife. The care I give is limited in that I can't be there all day, and an emotional investment is a bad thing, but I can't help doing it anyway. Harvey forgets. It's sad. He even forgets who his wife is at times, mistaking her for someone he met 30 years ago, who had died of terminal lung cancer. She keeps him at home because she loves him. She talks to him knowing that he'll forget because she likes him. She repeatedly said, "He's my sweetheart," knowing I've heard it before. Sometimes she forgets too. I scramble eggs on their stove while she gathers his myriad medication and hands them to him. He swallows them dry. She laughs every time. It makes me sick every time. That kind of dedication is lost these days. There's talk of people he's loved and lost, met and said goodbye to, but it all fades. He tells me about his friend John. I ask what he did, meaning his job. Harvey says, "He dropped dead." What a knee slapper. His wife and I chuckle as he winks at us. He can be all there sometimes. She likes him even though everything he knows is being eaten away, piece by piece by piece. And she's the one that holds him together. At least he still has his sense of humor. Over coffee, Cindy says,
"You know it's Valentine's Day."
I nod.
"You have a sweetheart, Addie? Someone to hold you today?"
I find this amusing and cute. She kisses him on the cheek gently every time she leaves him with me. I say, "No, I don't have a sweetheart, but I'm going out tonight."
"Maybe you'll find someone,"
she exclaims. And immediately my mind is inundated with all the people I know telling me how sad I seem, how lonely I must be, how all of my love is reserved for my children, and that's a lot of space for children to fill. My father, my brother, my sister, my mother, my fucking ex-wife, my classmates, every YouTuber I've made friends with, they all think the same thing. Addie's lonely. Addie's sad. After a long moment, she slurps her coffee, then gulps, asks,
"What are you afraid of? Living?"
I frown and don't say anything. But really, I'm thinking, yes, sometimes I get afraid. I've made a tight-knit little world around understanding fear and trying not to avoid it, but really, I've been avoiding it. Recovering from OCD can do that. It makes you fear. I think Roosevelt was wrong. You shouldn't fear anything. Lately, I've been in the Cold War and didn't even know it. I can be obsessive and learn to let go. I can be compulsive and forgive myself for my lapse in judgment. I have ordered from disorder everything, so I don't have to feel a thing except what I want to. I do not fear success in anything except this one thing. She says,
"What are you thinking about? Your studies?"
It's to that end that I kissed a man on the street the other day. It's my date, and I'd never done anything like that before. Yeah, I've done everything else, but this is the last thing. The midnight air is -6, and I fear we may get frozen together. And in a way, we are. Underneath the lights of the city, blanketed and cold, I leaned in. I made this happen. Every thought tonight has been a new one, and the worst is that I have to go. But who am I to argue? Since becoming an ex-Christian, skeptic, atheist, most of my life has followed a pattern, one that's easy and manageable. You are my friends, dear skeptics, and if not for you, I'd have confronted this epic battle with no teeth. I am very grateful for that. Here I am, finally a man with the power to stop time. However, as a consequence of my recovery from OCD, I don't take risks. I fear it all may come back. My old friend that I just can't kill. I am, day in, day out, a witness to no more strangeness than when one of my children occasionally farts in the car. The kissing is not the risk, it's the feelings that accompany it. The night was dirty and splendid all at once. The things I have to face shortly are strangely reminiscent echoes of the past. Things I haven't felt in years. There's a buildup, an awakening, and then high-energy particles dance in the air. I am no longer a mote in the eye of a god, but a witness to the sacred and the profane. Oxytocin, vasopressin, testosterone, dopamine, neuroepinephrine. Christ! Even in the middle of a passionate kiss, you never stop studying. You never stop learning. The linkages of deoxyribonucleic acid are attached 3' to 5' in a polypeptide bond that makes a sugar phosphate backbone. Stop! But here is a lesson that's the hardest of all. Love is easy. You all know how I feel about that shit. I won't just give that away, and I haven't in this moment. But finding someone you like is much harder. And when you do, that can be terrifying. No doubt I've dealt with terror before, at the hands of the real and the imaginary, and I came out unscathed. Through all of this, I must remember who I am. You are Atticus, and you have survived worse than this. So why have I avoided it for so long? I could say it's because of my children, but that's despicable. I could say I wasn't ready, but that's too tired. My hands are on the side of his face. This is years of daydreams and repression. All wants, all desires, all fears are known and shared right here and right now. I've lived a life only fulfilling my needs and the needs of others. There's a payment that needs to be made, a goddamn thing that needs to be bought, a mother, a sick child, and don't forget you have an exam tomorrow. In which way are the nucleotides assembled again? 3 to 5 or 5 to 3? Sometimes I just wish that I could forget that both the derivative and the integral of e to the power of x is e to the power of fucking x. Sometimes I'd like to forget that every time I've done this, it's always gone wrong. It's about losing control. I smile the most genuine smile I have in years, the kind that makes your eyes smile too. What if I lose? I've been blown apart before, piece by piece by piece. I can put myself back together again. I've done that before too, and I'm always learning new ways to do it. I say goodbye, he says goodbye, and I'm lost. I almost walk into a moving car. I forget who I am. I almost take the wrong way home. But I'll learn the way home again, like I have before. Thanks for watching. So how about it, folks? When was your first kiss? When was the first time you kissed somebody you liked? Was it a good memory? Was it a bad memory? Tell me in the comments section. If you've weathered thus far, please like, share, and subscribe. But before you go, I wanted to let you guys know, in case you didn't, that someone wonderful has returned to YouTube. Evidence is perhaps the greatest atheist YouTuber, and while he tightens the reins for his return, I want to be a shill. If you're subscribed to me and not to him, you're wrong. That is all. And check out his Patreon, link in the description, and donate, because I agree, Chris.
If you're good at something, never do it for free.
And he is goddamn good at what he does.